Entrepreneurs create organizations to make themselves and their businesses successful. Senior executives, however, inherit an organization. They enter an organization and have to find their way in it. And they have to develop executive presence in Gravitas in order to be heard, to be seen, and to be felt in a way that is significant so they can fulfill their mandate as a senior executive. I'm John Furth. I work with leaders to slow things down, think clearly, and build the discipline to lead with confidence, not just react to pressure. When I was a project manager at Accenture, I worked for a large pharmaceutical firm on a very large project. And it was very interesting to me because the partners seemed to favor this one Indian senior consultant. Maybe he was a project manager. And I have to admit there was a little jealousy on my side, but I began to wonder what was it about him that he was being taken to senior level meetings that I was not included in. It wasn't just the subject matter. It was the way he was being. He was very calm, very consistent. He knew his stuff, but he also had a marvelous way of finding the right words to frame up an argument. He couldn't have been more than 30, 32. And yet there was something of his education, his way he was brought up, and the fact that he'd found an inner calm. That was the thing I remember most. It all starts with emotional control. And emotional control is about making sure that you are predictable, reliable, accountable, and you're not swayed by things that are not appropriate for an organization that requires you to be stable, make good decisions, and to lead. The kind of control that is developed over time through mindfulness, through courses, some sort of training, and from feedback from those above you, but also in a 360-degree world from your team and your peers. Now, the next one is an obvious one, is the dress for the part, dress for success. However, in the last 50 years, this has come to mean quite a number of different things. It depends very much on the industry you're in. If you're a banker, you're going to probably wear suits. If you're a technologist, senior executive at a technology firm, chances are you're not wearing a suit, maybe some sort of fashionable shirt, perhaps even jeans, but some sort of slacks. Now let's talk about your voice. Your voice needs to be steady and reflective of an inner peace, the control that we're working towards, so that when you talk, literally acoustically, you're heard. And this comes from being quiet internally. If you're anxious or unnerved, your voice will go up, and what will happen is it will not resonate. Now, there are a couple of ways to make your voice resonate, and I got this from years of vocal training. There are really three things you want to do. One is you want to hum. Humming opens up the resonating passages. A very simple tune. It's also been proven that it has medical advantages. Another way to open it up is to yawn. To yawn deeply, and get it down, your breath down rooted deeper in your body. And the other thing is what we call support, vocal support. And that comes from the diaphragm, and that comes from breathing deeply. So I like to use the approach to yoga, where you breathe through one nostril very deeply, you hold it, and then you release it. And then you do it from the other nostril. Hold it and release it. That calms you down, as it does in yoga, and you can already hear my voice starting to settle more. You do that maybe 3 times on each nostril, and you're going to suddenly feel much calmer, and your voice is going to be more resonant, whether you hear it or not. I hope you find this video interesting. And there are many more on my channel, so please hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to watch the last 3 sections of this video. Teams usually don't collapse, they drift. And it's up to senior executives to find the center again and to bring them back. They do this by controlling a room, by entering a room with calm and assuredness and confidence so that a team comes back to the center and does what it needs to do. And he or she does that by asking questions, offering those that get down to the real heart of a matter. If there's lack of clarity or there's a question about whether or not whatever they're discussing is going to work, maybe they're stuck in a process, you want to ask about the outcomes. What are they trying to achieve? This not only gives it a certain calmness, but it also allows for clarity And you also feel when an executive enters the room who knows how to do this, a certain lightness that sort of the steam is let off and people can think clearly again. Executives are not there to dominate. They're not there to be subordinate. They're there to serve the organization. And they do that best by being consistent. So exercising control, making sure that they're heard and they're seen, and they calm down rooms. So the next time you walk into a room as an executive, don't try to impress. Enter the room with a calming influence, someone who's in control and would like to see those in the room exercise the same level of control and consideration. And if you do this correctly, you won't need to prove anything. It will already be evident.